So I had a performance yesterday. It was my third performance, and my voice was killing me. It's killing me even more today. I woke up like tasting blood, which is a great sign. Um, but I've just not been feeling great. I did not want to pass up this opportunity because I felt like either way, it's an experience, and that's like the biggest thing for me right now is just trying to like let myself have these new experiences. And a big thing for me is that I struggle so deeply. I'm working through it, but definitely for a long time struggled with the fear of being seen authentically. Um, and a lot of that came from just like criticisms and judgments that I internalized, and I spent a lot of the past year kind of navigating through how much of that was true to me and what I felt, and also showing a lot of love and compassion to the parts of myself that feel the need to cling on to those things. Um, I It was not my best performance, and I kind of thought like before I was going, I'm just in like so much pain. Like I don't even think I've tried to ever like get on. I don't think under any circumstances, like every other case, I would have been like, I can't do it. I'm super sick. And something just told me like I just need to go. I need to rip the band-aid off. It was a bigger venue than I've played at before. I just need to go. I need to have this experience. I need to get on stage. And I need to also kind of have that experience of like not being able to be so perfectionist about the way that I'm showing up. Like ideally, obviously, yeah, I would like to be in physically a better condition. But I think a lot of it was a lesson for me, or an opportunity to have an experience and push through a lot of the mental like barriers that I was really, really struggling with. So the fear of being seen, the fear of showing up with so much uncertainty, and just not be able to be on my A game, as criticizing all the little tiny things that happen. Like overall, I don't even know that I want to listen to this performance because I know that it was not anywhere near my capability. But it was still a really good experience, and I think I like had that thought before I went. I'm gonna do this no matter what. For whatever reason, I don't feel that this is something I should back out of. I do think that I should push through a lot of the fear and the discomfort, because this is an experience as a whole. And I really kind of struggled with like why I was going to go through with it. And again, like I just had this thought that maybe it's just there are these judgments and these fears, that this is an opportunity to face a lot of that head on, and like after the fact just be like, I survived. And that's like the best thing I can ask for in this world. I got an opportunity to share my art. I did get to meet some really awesome people, and people that were genuinely grateful for me also sharing my art, which was cool. And I definitely didn't expect that, having um, the level of capability that I did, or like not up to my typical standards or whatever. Um, uh, so I was recently diagnosed with OCD, which makes so much sense. I've been diagnosed with like everything under the sun over the years, just because I was so dysregulated. And I think it just makes so much sense finally establishing somewhat of my own baseline in life, and emotionally and mentally. And to see that is how my brain has chosen to cope with what I've experienced in my life. And I think I knew that I had it. I went into therapy literally seeking out this diagnosis. I like just found out how it actually presents, and I was just like, oh my god, like that is exactly what I'm experiencing. And then sure enough, I got diagnosed with it, and I don't know why it made me so emotional, because I knew that it was coming. And I think just to finally feel, I think like that I could give myself the grace in understanding some of those things, and also for me to recognize how a lot of those things are presenting in my life to push back and like rebuild trust with myself through safe risk, you know, going on stage. Okay, I might be embarrassed, I might make a fool out of myself, I might have people that think like, oh my god, where did they find this girl, like what is she doing here? And you know, ultimately, like, I realized that is the worst case scenario, and a majority of my fear about going was just like those things, those possibilities. And something that I've tried to understand is the balance between things. Okay, some of that might be true, but also I had some people that were really, really supportive of my art. I had somebody thank me for moving to Idaho, and I feel like that doesn't happen. Like, there's a whole thing about transplants here, and not being too like appreciative of people coming from out of state. And I had somebody come up and just like, thank you for coming here and bringing your art and everything, and it was really awesome. It was really wonderful. It was an opportunity again for me to share my art and to get on stage and, okay, maybe make a fool of myself a little bit, but just to have an experience with that, so that every time that I am able to have another experience, it's a little bit easier than the last time. And I think within the fear of being seen, the fear, like the need for certainty, I think it's just been really empowering in the ways that I have pushed back, of just like almost not letting myself care. Or kind of, I'm watching a video right now which is by Understood, called From Embarrassment to Embodiment. It's literally like right on the TV in front of me. I just finished it, and it was exactly what I needed today, because I woke up this morning having like I have an uncomfortable thought about like how I may have been perceived, and typically, you know, my internal dialogue, my conditioning tells me that I'm automatically going to be perceived in this negative light, or that I should emphasize this negative perspective. And I have these uncomfortable thoughts, and my initial reaction is like try to push them out of my head. And there was a piece of me this morning before I found this video where I was just like not even thinking about the fact that that is like a factor of OCD or whatever. Just recognizing that I do need to just sit with the possibility of it, but not really let it dictate how I'm feeling about myself, what I know that I'm capable of, despite what I was actually able to do. And then this video is about judgment is an inevitability, and you don't get to be judged in a positive light if you are also not judged in a negative light. And it's kind of just like the separation of either aspect of that to your trust in yourself. And for me, it was a really uncomfortable experience, but doing uncomfortable experiences in my life, and that's one thing I've learned a lot in the past year, having uncomfortable experiences allows me to build so much trust within myself, that also helps me break away from limitations that do not resonate with me, that aren't true to me and what I see for my life. And something I've kind of not been able to do much in the past couple of years is like, I was a really big people pleaser, and I just have not even been able to do that, like, at all. It seemed like no matter what I did, I could not make people happy, and it got to a point where like the stress and the weight of it was just hurting me so bad. Finally, I just kind of ripped myself out of it. Like, you know, obviously it's important to be conscious of how I'm treating other people, and how people might be receiving me, but in terms of feeling the need to control that narrative, feeling the need to try to eliminate as much possibility for negative judgment and perception as possible. Like, these are things that have just absolutely strained my energy, and it kind of woke me up to a need to kind of see what I felt for myself. How do I see myself? How do I what do I see for myself? And in both of those things, I had to do a lot of recognizing first where all of these initial perceptions came from. kind of recognizing that a lot of the voices in my head, like the thoughts that I had or whatever, just like aren't from me. It's a projection of somebody else's experience, and that's just the way that the world works. But it definitely has allowed me to become more in tune with my own experience and my own perception. And all that to be said, I've been sitting with the discomfort of how I may have come off or how I may have been perceived or whatever. And I think even just taking the conscious action to do it through the discomfort was a really big step in pushing back on that for me. And also a great lesson for me too of like, in this specific scenario, you don't always get to show up in life at 100%, and that doesn't mean that what you can give is not good enough, or you know, there were some people that were really moved by my music, even though, again, like, it was not 100%, it wasn't up to my own personal standard. It was like, it doesn't take away from the other pieces of it too. I kind of lost my train of thought with that. My voice hurts. I'm gonna go rest it now. It's just been a realization that I've been just like really sitting with the past few days, and I'm just really proud of myself for taking the steps to push through that discomfort, and to not be, I think doing so, it's allowed me to not be so affected or like impacted or swayed by external judgment as a whole. You know, whatever people say, good or bad about me, is a projection of their own feelings and their own experience. I can't control that. Tiring myself, stressing myself, trying to control that, trying to avoid certain uncomfortable experiences and feelings is only taking away from my ability to just be and to feel okay in being. Anyways, bye.